Hey everybody, Ghosting Burster here, and welcome to a new series. So we're starting a new series on this channel called the Duelist Haven, where we will be taking a look at all the archetypes that are in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we will learn about them. And so today's episode will be on the pendulum monsters we come to know as Abyss Actors. Alright, so I'll tell you what I know about Abyss Actors. Oh, what I already know. So it's based off of course, acting, of course. And it's special gift, or not gift, but like, whatchamacallit. Its specialty is having your opponent destroy your set spell cards to activate powerful effects. So they are fiend pendulum monsters that have a wide range of effects, including this one, Comic Relief. Take a look at it. So basically, it's pendulum effect that is really, really powerful in this deck that we will create. Is you can target one Abyss Actor pendulum monster you control and one monster your opponent controls, switch control both monsters and destroy this card. And that's just a really, really powerful effect. Because if your opponent has something like, say they have something kind of like, I'm going on a limb. Say they have Rooklos, and you activate this after Comic Relief to switch control of it. You give them a 100 attack monster such as extras. That's basically a way to get around a very, very powerful board that your opponent could make. So, without further ado, let's go and create our deck. We'll do 3 copies of our boss monster known as Abyss Actor Superstar. It's one of our boss monsters, of course, in the main deck. To where basically, it's basically Graveyard Spell Searcher as a pendulum. But the normal one is kind of like the Spell Searcher but instead it's simply Graveyard during the end phase. So that one is a definite 3. Of course, Comic Relief we already talked about, so that one is going to be a 3 as well. Next up we have Melomadon. Oh, sorry. Melomadon. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. This actor Melomadonna is basically the searcher of the deck, where you can pay 1,000 life points and add one Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, except this card. But it does lock you into Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters. But the monster effects, they're pretty interesting. It gains 100 attack for each Abyss script spell in your graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. When a pendulum monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if an Abyss script spell card or effect is activated, you can special summon one level 4 or lower, whatchamacallit. You can special summon one level 4 or lower Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck, but return to the hand during the end phase. So in other words, it's a really powerful card that can be buffed or beefed up, but can also send out pretty decent monsters from the deck, as long as they're level 4 or lower. Anyways, this one would be a definite 3. Next up, we have this actor Evil Heel. Because, well, if you don't know what it does, well, it's pretty disgusting. I don't know. Evil Heel basically has the effect that you can, the pendulum effect that you can tribute an Abyss Actor monster you control, and you can target one face-up monster that your opponent controls, and it loses attack equal to the attack of the tributed monster until the end of the turn. But we're not done yet. Next effect is just as nasty. If it's normal special summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1,000 attack for each of this active monster you currently control. At the end of this turn. This card destroys an opponent sponsored by battle. You can trigger one this script spell card in your graveyard and set it. Which is pretty nasty. Because, like, if you have, say, like, 2 Abyss Actor Evil Heel, and you target something like, I'm gonna say again, Rokalos. Rokalos literally loses 2,000 attack, so that'd be like, it has 1,000 attack left. So this one is a good one for getting over high power monsters, basically. So that one will be a 3 of 2. Or 3 of this one. Okay, next up, we have Curtain Raiser. I said Curtain Raiser. Well, there we go. We have this actor Curtain Raiser. So, it has the once per duel effect that pendulum effect that if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your pendulum zone. And if you control no other monsters, this card gains 1,100 attack. And once per turn, you can send one Abyss script spell from your deck to the graveyard and add one Abyss script Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. So considering that it does that, it's pretty disgusting. Honestly, due to the fact that it has a once per duel effect, I consider putting this at a 2F. Next up, we have Wild Hope. Wild Hope is pretty decent. Is a very decent card. Very, very decent. Sorry, I had to itch my nose for a second. So basically, once per turn, you can target one Abyss Actor card in your other Pendulum Zone, and you can make its Pendulum scale 9 until the end of this turn. And, however, it does lock you in Abyss Actor monsters. But that's okay, because honestly, that's all we're going to be bringing out either way. And once per turn, you can make this card gain 100 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you currently control, with different names, of course, until the end of this turn. And the one it's most known for is if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one Abyss Actor card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. Which is pretty disgusting if you think about it. Because the thought being, if it's destroyed, you can bring out something like Comic Relief, put it in your Pendulum Zone if your opponent has a attack monster that you want to take control of, or you could bring out a powerful monster of your own in Superstar. Yeah. Anyways, then oh wait. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So that's three. There should be 3 copies of Wild Hope. I mean, in my opinion, it really helps you because like it's either like it can be destroyed either by yourself on purpose, like with the effect of whatchamacallit? Frozen card? Oh, crud. Give me just a sec, y'all. Or with the effect of like crud, I can't remember the name. Well, but I think y'all know where I'm getting at. Yeah. So anywho, next up is Sassy Rookie. The Sassy Rookie is one of the quite the clever monsters. Quite the clever monster of the deck, in my opinion. And again, I keep saying this in my opinion because it's well my opinion. So. Okay. Anyways. So basically if this actor monster you control be destroyed with a battle or by opponent's card effect, you can destroy this card instead of the card that was targeted. So basically, the first time this card will be destroyed by battle card effect is each turn is not destroyed. And that's not even the full slice. The icing on the cake is if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's monster zone is destroyed by a opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 4 lower Abyss Actor monster from your deck, except for another copy of this card. And if this card is in your pendulum zone, if this card in your pendulum zone is destroyed, you can target one level 4 lower monster that your opponent controls, and you can destroy it. Which is pretty disgusting, but it's pretty good at the same time. I know. Okay. And you're having technical difficulties. You know? Come on. Oh, there we go. We're good. We're good. So this would be a possible 2. Now we have extras. This sector extras. So basically, if your opponent controls a monster, you special summon this card from your pendulum zone, and you can also tribute this card in your monster zone, and place one Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck in your pendulum zone. But it does lock you into Abyss Actor monsters, and you can't activate the pendulum effect of Abyss Actor extras. You can only use it once per turn. So it's a pretty good card with mixed with comic relief, so we'll put it at a 3. And of course, you need some negates, because based on the meta that we have in this world today, it calls for a bit of it calls for a bit of negates and stuff like that. Now moving on to the spells. The spells are believe it or not, actually not called Abyss Actor, except for one card, I think. They're actually called Abyss Scripts. Abyss Scripts. So starting off, we have the Abyss Playhouse Fantastic Theater, which is basically the field spell of the day. So you could reveal one Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, as well as Abyss Script spell in your hand. You could add one Abyss Script spell from your deck to your hand with a different name than the revealed spell. And while you control a Pendulum summoned Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, any monster effects activated by your opponent becomes destroy one set spell trap your opponent controls. You can only use it once per turn though. So basically, in other words, like I said earlier, this deck is reliant on having your opponent destroy your set spell cards to activate powerful effects, while also having an Abyss Actor in your extra deck. So basically, this actually helps the deck out a lot. So we'll put it at a 2. Next up, we have one of my all-time favorite cards, being Abyss Script Opening Ceremony. I mean, if you play Abyss Actors, you probably know why this is such a good card. So basically, you can activate this effect and gain 500 life points for each Abyss Actor monster you control. However, sorry. If this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by opponent's card effect, while you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in extra deck, you can draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. You can only use it once per turn, though. So that is pretty disgusting. Say if they have Herpes Feather Duster, then they'd really be in trouble. Oof. So basically, say if you have no cards in your hand and it's like you already did your play, you could have your opponent destroy Opening Ceremony while it's face down and you have a pendulum monster in your deck. You can basically keep going. Might be ready for next turn. You might have some negates. Who knows? So this is full of possibilities. So that's a 2-0. Next we have this actor's dress rehearsal. So you can activate this effect at the start of the main phase 1. You can add 1 Abyss Actor card and 1 Abyss Script spell from your deck to your hand, but it does lock you into pendulum summoning only Abyss Actor monsters. But that's what we'll be doing. So that is a 3-0. Next up we have Abyss Actor's Abyss Pin. So this is a continuous spell where you contribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, then target 1 Abyss Script spell in your graveyard and set it into your side of the field. And you can use this effect up to twice per turn. If the set card and its owner's control is destroyed by opponent's card effect and you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can special summon any number of Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters from your deck. So that is actually a very, very powerful effect. So we will do it at I want to say a 2 of this. Next up we have and then one of the more disgusting cards. We have Abyss Script Fire Dragon's Lair. You can target 1 Abyss Actor monster you control, and if it destroys your opponent's monster by battle this turn, your opponent banishes 3 monsters from their extra deck of their choice. And if this set card is destroyed, you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and you can banish 1 monster from it of your choice. So it is a pretty good card if you know you'll be destroying an opponent's monster. by battle. So honestly, I'd put this at a 3. And of course, we have Abyss Script Dramatic Story. Do that at a 1. So basically, what this does is you can target one Abyss Actor Pendulum monster you control. You can special summon one Abyss Actor monster from your deck with a different name, and place a targeted monster in your Pendulum zone or destroy it. And if this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, and you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can return up to 2 cards on the field back to the hand, which is basically really powerful for this kind of deck. So, yeah. Next up, we have Abyss Script Rise of the Abyss King. This is basically the destroyer of the deck. Or the, whatchamacallit. Not Raigeki Break, but like the, I don't really know what's going on. So for this one, you can target face-up cards on the field up to the number of attack position Abyss Actor monsters with different names you control, and destroy them. And if you control a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor monster, your opponent cannot activate effects or cards in response to his card's activation. So say if you had a Abyss Actor Superstar, they wouldn't, on the field, they would not be able to, like, say, Ash Blossom it or something like that. So it's pretty disgusting. But that's not where it ends. If the set card is destroyed by a post card effect and you have a Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can add up to 2 Abyss Actor cards and or Abyss Script spells with different names from your deck to your hand. So it is a good destroyer, but can also be a good searcher of the deck. That was a 2. Okay, Dramatic Story can be a 2 of them. So. See what I did there? It can be a good 2 of 2. Okay, I need this. I'll be here all night. Okay. And now for the traps, of course. We have Abyss Actor's Curtain Call. So, this one says, if an Abyss Script spell card or effect is activated this turn, you can add face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand up to the number of Abyss Script spells in your graveyard. Which is a pretty powerful thing of it. Powerful effect of its own. Then you can special summon Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters from your hand with different names, up to the number of monsters added to the hand by this effect. But it does lock you into special summoning Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters, and you can only use this once per turn. So I'd say that's pretty much a 2-0. And just to be sure that you have a phrase of Pendulum Abyss Actor monster in your extra deck. I usually play say a 2 of Abyss Actors Backstage. Which basically says if you have 2 Abyss Actor monsters in your pendulum zone, you can add 2 Abyss Actor pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to extra deck face up. So that way, if your opponent destroys a set Abyss script card, then you don't have to go through the trouble of trying to get an extra deck face up pendulum monster of Abyss Actor, because it's already there. So moving on to the extra decks now. So this one is Abyss Actor Hyper Director. So what you'll need is 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, which is pretty much easy, I'd say. But since that's what we'll be summoning half the time, I mean all the time, honestly. So, anyways, you can target 1 card in your pendulum zone and special summon it. Then you can place 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster with a different name from your deck or face up actor deck to your pendulum zone, but it does lock you into special summoning Abyss Actor monsters only. So that one is, I would say, honestly, I want to say a 3-0. Yeah, I'll just give it to it. Next up, we have Abyss Actor Super Producer. So for Super Producer, you'll need 2 monsters, including a fiend monster. During the main phase, you can target 1 face up card you control and destroy it. Then you can apply 1 of these effects. And keep in mind, you can only use this effect once per turn. You can either place 1 Abyss Playhouse Fantastic Theater from your deck face up in your field zone, which is your field spell, or you could place 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck in your pendulum zone. So it's a pretty nasty card. I know I say that for all of them, but this deck is just really, this archetype is just really disgusting in a good way. It's disgusting in a good way because it's just so powerful. So next up, we're gonna move in to next we'll need a single copy of Underworld Goddess, the Closed World, because the World Goddess is a fiend monster, which is what all of our Abyss actors are, too. They're fiends. So if you don't know what this does, you'll need 4 or more effect monsters. However, in the meta, it says that you can also use 1 monster your opponent controls as material for link summon for this exact card. So that's a good way to get around a big monster by using a link, by doing a link summon of this card with one of your opponent's monsters. that has a high attack power. So you can, if this card is link summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, and it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this exact card. And once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from their graveyard, you can negate the activation, and it's a quick effect. So, it's a pretty awesome card to have in the deck. So, next up, we have would this work? I don't know. Yeah, honestly, this work. That's it. We'll do 2 copies of McCracker from the Underworld. So, this cannot be used as link material to turn it as link summoned. If a monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you contribute 1 fiend monster instead of that monster or monsters. You can target 1 fiend monster in your graveyard, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon that monster. But you cannot. It locks you into playing fiend monsters. And that's all we're going to be summoning anyways. So that's why it's a good tool. Next up, we'll be playing. Let's see. What is here called? Oh, I just want to see real quick. Yeah. Do a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn. So it's where like you can discard 1 card and target a card and that your opponent controls mostly, unless you have something that can be shuffled back in the deck to avoid taking battle damage, and you can shuffle it back into the deck. But if it's co-linked as well, you can draw 1 card as well. So it's a good one. Nightmare Phoenix is for spells that could cause you some havoc and trouble on your opponent's side of the field. Although you might want them to destroy your cards, but it honestly depends on what it is. If it's Mirror Force, then you might want to destroy it. If it's not, and it destroys a set Abyss script, then why have an Abyss actor pendulum monster face up on your extra deck? Then that is fine. But just in case, I'll add a Nightmare Phoenix. Next, we'll bring out a single copy of Boral Sword Dragon. Well, actually, hold on. Hang on. Sorry, I got itchy on me. Just a sec. There. Actually, yeah, let me do a single copy of Boral Sword Dragon. So it's a pretty good card because, well, it can be destroyed in battle, and you can target 1 attack position monster and change it to defense position, and it can make a 2nd attack during each battle phase. And the best thing is your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to its activation. Once per turn, when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster, you can activate this effect. At the end of this turn, this card gains attack equal to half that monster's current attack, and if it does, that current monster's attack is half. So it's a pretty good card to have in Abyss Actor's deck. So next we have trying to think of what other cards we can use in the deck. So we could do a single copy of PMS Miranda, step into Nightmare Unicorn on the bonus turn, and just absolutely demolish their turn before they get a chance to do anything. Now moving into XYZs. What I usually do for the deck is a single copy of Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. And since this is a pendulum deck, an absolute must is Auto-Eyes Absolute. Of course we'll need reagents hit impulse. And finally Vortex. There we go. There we go. That is Abyss Actors. Let's go ahead and give it a test run. See what it can do. So what you primarily want to do is you want to put out your copy of Abyss Actor Extras, and then Abyss Actor Comic Relief, and then for this hand you can pendulum summon Superstar out to your side of the field. You see Abyss Actor Hyper Director. Activate its effect to target extras. And we'll put in the other pendulum zone, Wild Hope. Now, Super Producer. So use the effect of it. Destroy Wild Hope. Put face up on field, Fantastic Healer. Use Wild Hope's effect to add to my hand this actor's Drexel Horses. And I end my turn. So I'll activate the effect of Dress Rehearsal. We'll add to our hand. We'll do Madonna and then opening ceremony. Set opening ceremony and draft story. Go to the computer. Oh, I missed it. That's alright. So we'll do Water, attack position, and Superstar and attack position from the deck. Activate effect is Water. There's that one. Special summon out Evil Heal. And then Water for the graveyard. Backstage. Take 1,000 points of life, points of damage. We'll shrink our hand Sassy Rookie. Summon Sassy Rookie. Use the effect of opening ceremony. And attack with all monsters. And then one more match. So we do Comic Relief, Evil Heal. This is this thing. Oh, copy. Well, and that's it. Since we don't have a monster in our hand. We have a little bit of points of damage, but that's okay. So now we activate this after Press Reversal. The hand Bar Hope. And Rise of the Abyss King. The special rolling summon Hyper Director. With that, set another copy of me. And Varho comes back onto the field. To expect, it affects the Hyper Director to target Evil Heal. And then our other pendulum stone, Madonna. The flash effect goes out. And then that's the producer. The producer's effect. So this thing. Then onto the field. We stay here. We just do this. So this one. And this one. And then hit effect. Take 1,000 points of damage. Or an attack with a monster. With pendulum summon. Superstar. And Water. And we'll get curtain call. Put this down. Yeah. Good. Programming for you. And so that is the game. So overall, the gift factors are pretty dang fun. If you like pendulum decks and you like the option of effects, you will love this deck. So that will do it for this episode of Duelist Haven. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and give it a like. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone.